Hi, I'm Lloyd Swain with Charter Channel 3, and thank you for watching today. Hey, we're going to learn a little bit about Delta High School. What is that, you ask? Well, we're going to find out, and we have two folks here to talk to us about it today, a student and the principal. I'd like to introduce Deidre Holmberg and Zach Martin. Thank you for being here today, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
You know, Delta is a STEM school. Why don't we explain to the folks what this school is and how did it get started?
Well, Delta is a STEM school, like you said, so that means we focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's what the STEM stands for. We also have classes in English and social studies. And it got started with a bright idea from Battelle, which is a, obviously local
National
company, National Laboratory.
Yeah.
And they have a school out in Columbus, Ohio called the Metro School. So the former lab director got the superintendents together in about 2006 and sat them down and asked them if they'd be interested in starting this type of school with Battelle as a partner. And now we're 7 partners, and we run a public-private partnership school for students in Kennewick, Richland, and Pasco.
So who are the partners, Deidre?
The partners are Columbia Basin College, Washington State University Tri-Cities, the Washington State STEM Education Foundation, Richland School District, Pasco School District, Kennewick School District, and, well, and Battelle. Yeah.
So how do students apply for this, or do they apply to? Students
do apply. They basically fill out a one-sheet application, very simple. They need to be eligible to go to 9th grade. They need to live within the participating school districts, and they need to be interested in this kind of education in a small, school environment. And then we do a lottery, which is a basic lottery. We don't have
drawing names.
Yeah, we draw names.
Now, Zach, you are what? And it's what, freshmen through senior? Is that correct?
Well, right now it's freshman and sophomore because we're only in our 2nd year.
Only 2 years.
But by the time we're in our 4th year, it will be. By the time I graduate, it will be the 5th year. So there will at least be seniors, freshmen through seniors.
So how did you hear about it, and then why did you apply?
My sister goes to the same school. She had applied and she got in, and so she heard about it before I did, and then I heard about it, and we were kind of interested in having the one-on-one connection with a teacher, and so I liked the small school idea, and I was really interested in the technology and engineering type classes, especially in the science. So I was like, oh, this is going to be really great. I should go. And I applied and I got in.
So how do you think about it so far?
I think it's really great. It's really fun. It's awesome. It's kind of unexplainable how awesome it is. I don't think we could get any of the other experiences that we do there at a regular high school. Like just the other day we had Marie Cantwell there, and I would have never even talked to her, or even probably heard that she was going to Delta if I hadn't gone to Delta.
So what's different about Delta High School versus a regular school? Are the classes longer? And I know they focus on science and technology and engineering. So what's different about the classes?
Well, the classes aren't 90 minutes. I mean, they're not 60 minutes. They're 90 minutes.
They're 90 minutes.
So it's an hour and a half long, and you only have 4 classes a day, but we have 5 classes total. So we have science, technology, engineering. Well, science and technology and engineering is 1 class. And then we have math, English, and language arts. And we only have 4 of those a day, plus every Wednesday we have advisory. And freshmen have it 2nd block, and sophomores have it 3rd block. And advisory is kind of a planning skills class. And it's just to help us keep us organized and everything.
So are you having fun at this school?
Yeah, lots of fun. It's awesome.
How many students are in the school, Deidre?
We have about 185 at the moment, and we will be accepting about 120 new freshmen for next year. And we do experience a little bit of attrition. It is a different way of having school. We believe it's American High School 2.0. We really focus on research-based instructional strategies, and also we really focus on standards-based grading, which is a little bit different than traditional grading. So there's a lot of things that are different about Delta, and you know, it really suits some students more than others. It's another option for our kids in the Tri-Cities.
So what is this standards-based training?
Well, basically, Washington State has established educational standards or benchmarks that all students are expected to demonstrate proficiency in. And so Delta takes those things very seriously, and basically our curriculum is the set of Washington State standards.
Sure.
Not all of, but the majority of our assignments are based on those standards, and we assess them very directly. Also, our teachers work together to do some really focused and connected learning between classes. So at Delta, you wouldn't have, you know, a bell rings and you stop learning math. There's a lot of carryover between, let's say, in certain situations, social studies and math, or science and English. So there's a lot of very focused integration, and we don't try to draw connections where there aren't any. We try to reinforce natural connections between subject matter and skills, and that's a lot of work. It's very different. And students don't get to stop learning any one subject in particular because they go to the next class. The teachers work very closely together. We've been given a lot of time and expertise, and also, you know, money to really have teachers work on something new in education, and really integrate closely and really focus on what every student is learning or has not learned or has already learned. So we're very, very focused on that, and that's very important to us.
Is there any data that exists? I know you're only 2 years in the start of the school, that it actually improves a student's relationship with school and therefore improves their learning?
Well, that's a great question. We actually recently have asked WSU Tri-Cities to undertake a fairly large study of our students versus the students that applied but didn't get in through the lottery. And so we'll have a lot more data in the next 2 years about that. Also, because, you know, Zach's sister Michaela is a sophomore, they'll be taking their first real set of state exams in the spring. So we're looking very forward to that. We anticipate that our students will do very well. There is some preliminary data that shows that our students are, you know, ahead of the curve, but I think with the state testing coming down the pike, we will be able to show exactly what's going on. Also, we believe in prepping our students for the big standardized tests. So we had 100% of our sophomores took the PSAT this year, which is a big deal, and it's really important for our families to get hands-on, minds-on about college readiness. And all of our students aren't necessarily college-bound, but they all will be college-ready. So if they want to make that choice, they can make it.
So what do you want to do after high school?
I want to become a veterinarian, and I'm planning on probably doing Running Start in my junior and senior year, so I can get ahead, and then going to WSU and being a veterinarian.
What is your typical day like? You have, what, 4 classes? Mm-hmm. And so what are those classes?
Well, it changes.
Sure.
Since every day, we actually have 5 classes, but we only have 4 of them a day, and then we rotate. So, like, say today we had, well, since it's Wednesday, we have an advisory, but we had science, and then we had math, and then tech. But on a normal day, it would be we have 4 classes, and then the next day, everything shifts one. So then you have the class that you didn't have that day, the day before, you have that class first. So then it's a good mix-up, I think, that we have.
You change off every day, so it's not always something that's repetitive so much.
And also we learned, most of us have high school teaching experience that work at Delta, so we learned that a lot of what's taught every day, first hour or the last hour, you know, kids are tired in the morning and they're a little rambunctious in the afternoon. And, you know, for our students, it's very important to keep the schedule rolling so that students can experience math at all different times of the day when they may be at their best, or
oh, sure,
things like that.
sure.
So it's a little confusing at first. The first 2 days of the new schedule are a little wonky, but after that it's fine. I mean, the kids know exactly where they're going, and it's a small campus, so there's not a lot of room to get lost, so it's not a big deal. Yeah.
So you like the class size, and you like your teachers?
Yeah, I do. I like them all.
Is it quite a bit different than middle school where you went?
Oh yeah, it's a lot different. It really helps, like I said earlier, how we're learning and stuff.
Sure.
Well, like right now in math, we're learning sophomore things. So that's even more surprising, because I know I would not be learning those things in a regular high school. And so it's like you get the whole new experience by going to Delta.
Do you have a lot of homework?
Well, it depends. Sometimes we have a lot of homework, sometimes we don't. We usually don't get much homework on the weekends, but we do get homework during the week.
What would you say to someone else your age about attending the school and applying? What would you
I would
tell?
say do it. It's a great opportunity, and it's a lot more helpful than going to like a middle school, which it seems that that's a lot like high school.
Sure. How many people are in your class?
We have the same people in every class, and then you change every trimester. But there's about 15 to 20.
15 to 20, which is a good class size,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, we're really happy with the size of our classes. We have really between 18 and 23 in most of the classes, and it makes it really nice, that buffer. Most teachers are used to 30 plus, 31, 32, and this really gives our teachers a chance to focus on each individual student. And some of our students really come to us behind grade level. Some of them come above grade level. Some are on grade level.
Yeah.
And our teachers really need to know who's who, meet them where they are, and take them to the next level. So if a student is really ready for 11th grade work and they're a 9th grader, well, they're going to get 11th grade work. If they're ready for 7th grade work and they're a 9th grader, we will get them 7th grade work, 8th grade work, and get them up to speed as fast as we possibly can. And so we really do try to differentiate for every student.
Sure.
And the classes are long enough that the teachers have the ability to do that. And students do a lot of the work. So at Delta, you won't always see, in fact, you might rarely see a teacher up at the front of the room talking.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's almost, well, I don't want to say always, but a lot of the time it's students working. So the teachers are more checkers of learning and those that provide educational opportunities, rather than being a traditional teacher in the front of the room.
Do these teachers have a special training for this, or?
Yes, they do. So our teachers are already, they're good to great. They're already in a class of their own. They always want to change and do better, even though they're already awesome. So I'm really proud of them, and we've spent a lot of time together, about 250 hours, just working on the instruction and the curriculum for Delta. So, and for some of our teachers who started out on the core planning team back in 2007, I mean, the amount of time would be in the quadruple digits. I mean, it's a lot of hours. So it's something really special that is here in the Tri-Cities, something that I think could very easily be a national model, and it's built by the people of the Tri-Cities for the children of the Tri-Cities. It's ours.
That's pretty cool.
It's awesome, yeah.
Do a lot of folks know about Delta High School? I mean, do they question you, Zach?
Yeah, I do actually have some people that I have to explain it to still, but it's not
Sure.
It's not too much anymore. Since we're in our second year, there's a lot more people that know about it. Like last year, I know my sister had to explain to a lot of people what it was,
Sure.
but now after our second year and everything, and everybody knows more about it, because you kind of spread the word, and chain reaction spreads it to everybody else. It's like you don't really have to explain it much anymore.
So how do you get back and forth to school? Is there a transportation, the school buses? Or?
For Richland students, there's the public bus. We get a bus pass supplied by the school.
From the transit company?
Yeah, it gets it supplied to us. And then Kennewick and Pasco kids get a school bus. Picks them up at, is it Tritech? Or?
Yeah, there's various routes, but all of the districts provide transportation.
Wow, this sounds like a great new method of teaching and really developing students today. Are there any future plans with funding and facilities? I know you're working out of a CBC Richland campus right now. So what's on the drawing board for Delta?
You know, we have some immediate needs. We have some short-term needs for facilities and some long-term needs for facilities.
Sure.
In the short term, you know, our campus, which was very generously donated basically by Columbia Basin College, you know, really is not large enough to accommodate 400 students, which was the intent. So we really need to lean on our partners and, you know, get extra space within walking distance at Delta, or perhaps add a small set of classrooms. And that's the short term. The long term is that we would love to be able to secure federal, private, state, local funding to get a brand new facility that is not over the top Taj Mahal style, but really is suited for this type of educational setting. So we, you know, this is becoming, you know, as people have probably seen, we have a lot of very high-profile visitors. We expect to have more of that. We've had international visitors who've come to Washington to see Delta. So, you know, we need to have a place primarily where students can learn at, you know, as fast and as much as they can, where teachers feel the freedom to really, you know, dial down and, you know, get in the weeds with kids, and then also have a place that the Tri-Cities can really, you know, showcase its finest, and that's our long-term goal. And the Washington State STEM Education Foundation is working on securing those types of funding for the build of that facility. So, but that's, you know, the economy changed, so that was kind of a short-term plan. Now I think it's a little bit longer-term plan.
Sure.
When the economy picks back up, I think we'll be in a much better place, and foundations will open up their coffers, and we'll be the recipients of some serious generosity.
It'll be interesting to see what the research does, because it sure looks like you enjoy yourself, Zach. And now I understand you, not so distant past, you had a state senator or visit Senator Cantwell. Did you get to meet her?
Yes, I did. I got to meet her and I got to talk to her. She came into our classroom and we asked some questions and she asked some questions, and it was just a nice conversation to have with her about Delta and how we feel and how she feels being a senator and representing Washington and everything.
Great. And I know we do a legislative report each week, and there was a Delta student that was a page.
That's right. So another one of our students was a page for Representative Haler in Olympia, and you know, we tried. You know, Delta is a bipartisan place, so we have we've had, you know, Brad Clippert, we've had Larry Haler, Jerome Delvin has been extremely supportive. We've had both U.S. senators at Delta. We would love to have the governor and or the president. I mean,
wouldn't that be nice? I think that would be great.
We will certainly welcome with open arms any of those visitors, but most importantly, we welcome our students and families, and we try to make Delta a really nice place for people to come and learn. And you know, it's awesome to have that stuff in the paper, but the real story, you know, are our kids. And what they're doing and how they're doing high school differently. So that's, Zach and company are the big story.
So how do parents and students learn more? How do they get a hold of you, and what do they need to do to find out more information?
Well, we actually are relaunching our website, hopefully in the next couple of days. You know, we're really focused on doing things differently. And so this year we're taking it on the road, we're getting on TV, we're getting in the paper, and those are really just opportunities for us to share the story of Zach and the story of every kid at Delta. And
so that's the biggest thing, is to grow the high school and make people more aware.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Anything that you want to talk about that I haven't asked you? Or?
Well, our ASB, or I guess I'm part of that, the Student Senate. We kind of convey the students' thoughts and to our teachers and everything, and we put on events and everything. Like coming this Saturday, we have our first actual semi-formal dance that we put on.
Wow.
So we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Now, one of the things we've really concentrated on this year, now that we have more kids, we definitely have more capacity, is getting some of the social pieces of high school in place. We do things a little bit differently at Delta, so we just try to do it the way we want to do it and the way the students want these events to run. And we have different clubs than you might find in a regular high school. And it's all student-centered, student-focused, student-driven. So, Zach has been working feverishly to secure a location and chaperones and sell tickets and everything else. And it really is driven by student interest and what students want to do. And that's kind of we turn that work over to them. And
do you have a theme yet for your dance?
It's Snowfall Soiree.
Oh,
so
that sounds real neat.
Yeah, it's just it's our equivalent, I guess you could say, of a homecoming. So it's just going to be really fun to go.
Right. And we don't have sports teams at Delta. Students are able to play sports at their home high schools, and some of our students do take advantage of that. So, some of the traditional rah stuff of a high school, we don't have that. So Zach and some of the first students coming through Delta are really reinventing what that looks like and how they would like it to be, and how those experiences really come together. So it's really an opportunity for students to do their own thing and to make things happen for themselves and their peers. It's pretty cool.
Well, that sounds great. Hey, thank you for coming by today and talking to us about Delta High School. That sounds pretty neat. Zach Martin, Deirdre Holmberg, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You.
And I encourage you, if you're interested, contact the folks at Delta High. If you're interested as a student, contact the folks at Delta High, and you can find out a lot more about this high school. It sounds just great. So, again, I'm Lloyd Swain with Charter Channel 3, and thank you for watching.